pressure is not too much for him. He can handle anything. He's a fierce young man of the future. And, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with his game. Where can you beat him? Where can you see any of those defenses? He's very confident. And as I said, Luke, he can take that pressure.
Yeah, well, he might be slight in stature. I think he's 160 pounds wringing wet, but he's big on confidence and bold with his iron play. There is not a flag he won't fire at, so if you want to beat Will Zalatoris, you better go hole hunting. Opting for the 6-iron. Well, that'll work. Up on the dance floor. Could have been worse.
Outside chance of the birdie, but a 2-putt here is still good.
Setting up here with a very long putt. Oh, so close.
Downhill, all the way, down grain just a bit. They let it get away from him.
Putting for a par now. Just didn't drop. That'll sting a bit. 5 feet coming up to the cup.
Yep, tracking nicely.
Facing early adversity there after opening up with a bogey.
Not what they're looking for. A little nervy out there so far.
And now let's catch up with John McCarthy for an on-course report. What can we expect from Echo Park Golf Club this week, John?
Well, Luke, one thing I can say about this after walking the course this morning, it's a long one. So distance off the tee, especially important here at Echo Park. Course starts off along the big lake. There are a few holes that hug the edge of this lake, not unlike Bay Hill, but here you get hit with it right off the start. And when you get away from the water, you get hit with the sand on the 6th. There's a thin corridor of fairway that leads to the green that weaves its way through. I think there's 5-6 bunkers leading up to and surrounding the 6th green. And from there on out, the players are going to be on the watch for the sand because it's sneaky and it's hard to avoid in certain situations. It's going to be an exciting time here, I think, this week at Echo Park.
Oh, that's a high caliber shot. Well, this is some lovely momentum to take into the tournament, coming off a last start win, Rich.
Can't think of any better momentum. Obviously, the players firing on all cylinders. Sit back, watch, and enjoy it. This one is all over it.
Well, that certainly makes putting a lot easier when you can hit a shot like that. Putting for birdie here.
And that's how you roll the rock.
Now let's switch our attention to Will Zalatoris.
He's trying to pull ahead in this group rivalry. Let's see what happens.
This is their 5th shot. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. And with that now, back to level par. Setting up now on a par 4.
Look, coming off a birdie at the last hole, this player finally is making something happen. Looking forward to the next hole, but danger lurks if they're not careful.
That should find the sand. Henny, how's that ball lying?
Looks like they have a bad lie here in the sand.
This one is heading to a really not so good space.
This would be a great up and down. How close was that to going down? Big par saver coming up for this fella.
Looking good so far.
Ooh. There's part of about 6 feet coming up. This one's looking good. Well, that'll avoid a number of drop shots. Well hold. Currently at +1 for the day. Here we are at Echo Park Golf Club, the 4th hole, and it's a big brute of a par 4.
Off the tee, your eyes look down the left-hand side and see 2 massive bunkers and obviously the water, so anything right of that is just fine. If you find the fairway, second shot is downhill just a little bit to a long, narrow green that has got bunkers down the right-hand side. Distance control with that second shot is absolutely imperative if they want to have a good look at birdie.
Yeah, you hit a beauty, didn't you? Why don't we catch up with Will Zalatoris?
He's currently ahead in this rivalry. Let's see what happens.
Henny, what have they got in front of them here?
Yeah, this is straight back into the breeze. Going to be a tough one.
Opting for the 5-iron. Is that what they had in mind?
Not taking enough club to get it there.
Sitting at 1 over. This one just outside 7 feet to the hole.
Trying to save par here.
Oh, what a stroke. Oh, wonderful effort. Confirms the par. The leader now has a 1-stroke advantage. Teeing off here at the 5th. Going with the 7. It's fair to say that that approach didn't hit the mark.
Well, definitely the wind had to have gotten a hold of that one.
Second shot here on the 5th. Wow, that almost went in the hole. Henny, you've had the chance to have a look over this one?
Setting up this putt 16 feet from the cup. This for par. This is tracking right into the front of this cup.
Now let's switch our attention to Will Zalatoris.
He's one stroke in front of his rival so far today. Great stuff.
Let's take a look at the leaderboard as it stands. Trailing by 5 shots after that hole. To me, the short par 4 is the most underrated hole in all of golf.
Really hoping they play this one aggressively.
Well, that's a handy shot. Rich, there's plenty of paths to the PGA Tour, but few seem to bash their way to the PGA Tour quicker than Will Zalatoris. It was an immediate impact he had, and it's just such an exciting game he possesses.
Watching him go from the Korn Ferry Tour and essentially bypassing all of that fairly immediately with the 3 wins and getting onto the PGA Tour and having such a profound effect when he was out there really is quite astonishing. Without getting the win, but seemingly in contention each and every week out there, you feel the sky is the limit for what's going to happen with this young man. He is so disciplined in what he does in a round of golf. He's got a great mind in the way that he approaches the game and how he advances the golf ball to point A to point B to point. He sees this golf course 3 shots in advance. It's just kind of like it's right there in front of him. He reminds me of an old school pool player who he's already made all the shots. Now he just has to go ahead and just sink the next one because he set himself up perfectly for the next one. It's impressive.
A par putt awaits.
And this putt to draw even with Will Zalatoris.
Ooh, right by the hole. Putting for bogey. Yeah, well holed. Let's move on to the next. A little slide happening here on the leaderboard. See if he can bounce back. Let's see what happens here on the 7th. That's tidy. Second shot here on the 7th. And here we are with the 3rd shot.
They need to flight this one down into the wind.
No harm, no foul there with that shot.
And Henny, what are they looking at here?
Yeah, they've left it in the perfect spot here, just below the hole. They can be aggressive up the hill.
This one's online. That did everything but drop. Why don't we catch up with Will Zalatoris?
Coming off a bogey on the last hole.
And let's see what that shot did to the leaderboard. Currently at 2 over par.
Moving up the leaderboard. I like it.
Just a couple to play here on the opening 9. Here's the tee shot at the 8th. Opting for the 5-wood. That got a little out of control, I think.
Airmailed the green with that approach.
Might need to get the feel back on the putting green.
Not too sure exactly what they were thinking on that one.
Getting ready to play their 3rd. Lovely touch. Well played.
Judging it beautifully.
This is a bogey putt coming up. In she goes. Let's head to the next. Trailing by 7 after that hole. We've reached the 9th hole. Time to tee off. This one might roll into the rough.
Uh-oh, this one leaking out to the right.
Seemed to lose the handle on that shot.
Oh, the wind wreaks havoc with another golf ball.
Sitting at 3 over. A good opportunity here, just 6 feet to the hole. That's tracking. There it is. Now let's switch our attention to Will Zalatoris.
He's 2 strokes ahead in this group rivalry today.
And this putt to move into the top 20.
Well, that's got to have some impact on the scoreboard. Let's take a look. Well, Rich, as we make the turn to the back nine, what are your thoughts so far?
Well, Luke, this rivalry we've been watching has been fun. This player's behind their rival as we make the turn, and it'll be fun to see how this matchup shakes out.
This hole is a par 5. Handy effort, that one. 3 over for the day.
Why don't we catch up with Will Zalatoris?
Had a big eagle on the last hole.
Here's Will Zalatoris.
Okay, let's get back to it, shall we? And the players left with an opportunity to get up and down here from the sand. And this putt is for a big 4 on the scorecard.
Yeah, that's lovely weight. Getting it right up by the hole. Excellent job. A par putt on the table. Jon Rahm holds a familiar spot of top spot on this leaderboard.
The 11th at Echo Park is a par 4 stretching at 430 from the back tees.
Just a slight bit uphill off the tee shot. Find a spot at that far bunker, Luke, that you want to aim at and go ahead and turn it loose. From there, second shot goes over a nice little meandering stream that wanders throughout the golf course to a green, clover-like in appearance, but I gotta say, this is really one of the coolest holes on the golf course. I love it.
The great Cevrano Ballesteros inspired an entire generation of European golfers, particularly his own Spanish golfers, and I feel that we might even have the best Spanish golfer of all time in Jon Rahm, Rich.
I absolutely agree with that. I believe in the game right now, Luke, that if there's one player that all others are fearful of when they get on top of the leaderboard, I think Jon Rahm's name would be number 1, because he seemingly has 0 weaknesses. I can't find a single one. I look at his game, and it is so complete. You just get envious of it, don't you? Because it is so good everywhere. Off the tee, iron play, the short game, the mentality, the vision, the imagination. He's got every single tool that you could possibly want in this game. He is by far, I believe, the most complete player in our game today.
Yeah, it certainly feels like we're in the Jon Rahm era right now. Time now for the 4th shot. That's a fine effort, that one. You always want to putt those ones stone dead. Putting for a bogey. You've finished your work on that hole. Let's take a look at the next one. Our current leader is enjoying a one-shot lead. Let's see what happens here at the 12th. Going with the 8-iron here. Wow, what happened there?
Oh, look at that. The wind just wreaking havoc with that shot. Disappointing.
Not far from the green here, just in the greenside rough. Oh, wouldn't that have been nice? 8 feet to the cup.
These are on rails, looking good.
And down it goes for consecutive bogeys.
You're making one bad mistake with another, compounding it, not good.
Now let's switch our attention to Will Zalatoris.
Oh, he's out in front here in this rivalry, but can he stay that way?
Let's take a look at the current standings. The Spaniard, Jon Rahm, currently in the lead as we head to the next tee. Well, the 13th hole here at Echo Park Golf Club is not as kind. A big hole at 5:04 from the tips.
Well, thankfully, it's slightly downhill off the tee, but yes, avoid those bunkers down the right-hand side, and of course, that meandering brook that is a feature of this golf course. Big hitters can actually take it over everything down the right-hand side, but that's for the brave few. Second shot, downhill slightly to a massive green. Just some big bunkers on the left-hand side, but plenty of bailout room over to the right.
Oh, that was pure. Playing from around 240 yards.
Pretty good win back into the player's face.
Going with a 3-wood here. That one seemed to get away from them, Rich.
And coming up well short.
And here we are with the third shot. And here we are with their fourth. Ouch, that hurts. And this one will be for bogey. Our current leader is enjoying a 2-stroke lead. All right, getting into our final stretch. Time to tee off here at the 14th. Great shot. From around 170 yards here.
Wind's blowing right to left here, and they're going to go ahead and ride the one in here.
Looks to be going with the 6-iron. They're looking to get this one close in hopes of saving par. Was on a good line. An opportunity to make a par here. Why don't we catch up with Will Zalatoris?
Birdied their last hole.
And how did that shot impact the score? Let's have a look at the leaderboard.
And this is a familiar sight. Jon Rahm leads this tournament.
Time to face a par 4 now. And after a par at the last, a chance to perhaps signal some intent. They have put some hurt on that ball. Send it. And what's in front of them there, Henny?
He's got about 140, I'd say.
Opting for the 9-iron.
Good sounding strike, that one. And he's safely on the green.
Okay, Henny. What's he looking at with this putt?
Just got to use the touch of a feather. Barely has to blow on it. This is just downhill. Get the fist pump ready. This looks like it's going in.
Wow, that's misjudged. 16 feet to the hole.
This is what they have left for par here. Oh, that was such a good stroke.
And that putt will end up short.
That will drive you bats.
Sitting at 7 over for the day.
And moving down the leaderboard as well.
And on the tee now, coming off the bogey. Might have a bit of a sting in the tail, I'd imagine. Going with the 9-iron, I think. And that was a bit of a misfire.
Gotta believe the wind affected the golf ball there.
All right, facing a little up and down here to save the par. Didn't that look good for a long time? Getting ready to play their third. That was a gallant attempt. Good chance, this one. Right on 6 feet.
Looks good.
Yep. Well holed for bogey.
2 bogeys in a row, never a good sign. Now playing a little defensively.
Now let's switch our attention to Will Zalatoris.
He's currently ahead in this rivalry. Let's see what happens.
Here's Will Zalatoris.
And after that effort, this is how the leaderboard looks.
And a very familiar sight, Tiger Woods on top of the leaderboard.
And now on the tee, coming off a bogey, trying to reclaim some momentum.
This one's looking good off the tee. That should find the short stuff.
What kind of shot are they facing here, Henny?
Setting up here from about 195 yards.
Looks to be going with a hybrid here. Any bounce to the left here would be helpful. And here we are with the third shot. And this one is for his par. And that puddle drop. Well done. The leader now has a one-stroke advantage. Teeing off here at the lucky last, the 18th. Well, I'm sure it looked better in their mind before they hit it. Second shot here at the 18th. And taking aim from around 100 yards here.
Wind is blowing left to right. Going to try and hold it against the wind.
Chosen the pitching wedge here. That's not the outcome they were after.
That's been the story of the day, isn't it, Luke? Has missed a lot of greens, and you can't afford to do that on this golf course.
And this putt for a final score of 80. A bit long on that one. 7 feet to the cup.
It's looking solid.
And that brings to an end his event. Well, Rich, after coming so close to going back-to-back, you just wonder the way they finished. Maybe the occasion just got a little bit too much for them.
I'm very impressed with how this player battled trying to get that back-to-back win, coming up a little bit shy, nothing to hang your head about.
I'm Luke Elvey, alongside Rich Beem, and on behalf of all the hard-working folks at HB Studios, it's goodbye for now.